Hey, welcome back to the Phoenix Podcast. I'm Brandon McDevitt.
I'm Tiffany Piper.
And I'm Savannah Gouch. Today, we're going to be doing part two of SpaceX and their recent launch of the Falcon 9.
Let's get right into it. So last time we left off at the new set of people with commercial resupply and crew, and we got some of the main people. We got Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and the other guy,
David, maybe? I forgot what his
Richard Branson,
name was.
I think.
Yeah.
And with all of those people, Elon Musk has had the most success. And that's because he's showing, what he's doing. It's quite amazing to watch everyone compete, and you see like one guy actually doing it, you know what I mean? And the other one talking about it. And that's a really awesome perspective. So what do you guys think of these rich people being the head of the company that's supposed to lead the space commercial industry? That's a mouthful.
I'm a little, shocked that Jeff Bezos specifically is getting into this. I don't know how I feel about him, but he's just not, I don't want to say not ideal, but it doesn't make sense in my mind why he's getting into the business. Also, I've been doing a little bit of stuff on this Richard Branson guy, and it's a little
Right.
old to be just now be getting into space. He hasn't had any experience in anything.
Right.
He's in magazines and works for, stuff like that. He's very business oriented, which I think would be good, but just not particularly for space.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, I figure. Definitely. Did Tiffany lag out?
She's frozen. I think it's because she's outside.
They do be like that sometimes.
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
I can hear you. You're just frozen.
Your picture's frozen. But yeah, rich people don't belong trying to make, a space company just because, oh, now I'll spend my money on this. You know what I mean?
I think they just see it as, hey, this is new and upcoming. I'm going to jump on it before anybody else does. And that's all that it is. And I guess it's a good business tactic, but it's just not, for me, personally, somebody who's really interested in this, I'm not going to support you doing this because I believe in what Elon Musk is doing, and he's doing it from a very natural passion. And he didn't do it just because, hey, look what everybody else is doing. Oh, this is new. Let me do it. I don't want to say he came up with the idea, but he's the one who's gotten the farthest, and he started earlier than them.
On the farthest,
it's
too.
So much more authentic than this kind of artificial. That would be a great business. Let me hop on that real quick.
Right. And now we're all reoriented.
There we go.
Everyone's switched.
Yeah.
All right,
yes,
so we're going to be back at it. So the question was, we have Jeff Bezos, who just wants to build more space stations, essentially, like the International Space Station. But you got Elon wanting to put a base on the moon and a colony on Mars. Tiffany, finish up what you were saying, because that was pretty interesting.
So I don't think that they would be putting people on Mars permanently. I think they would be taking scientists and having them do or they kind of like what we do with the space station, where people will go up to the space station, work there for about a year, and then come back down. I think it'll be kind of the same for Mars, but longer periods, maybe a couple of years or something. It would make more sense, in my opinion. You're gonna have the first couple of people who are gonna be there for the longest time because they're gonna be setting up everything and starting building their base and getting the lab set up on Mars and stuff. And I think that'll kind of be the same thing with the moon, where I don't think they're going to be able to do a whole colony and people living there permanently.
Okay.
I think it'll be just like working kind of how they do it with the space station, just further distance away. Therefore, longer periods of work. They'll be there for longer
Okay.
periods than just a year or a couple of months.
Right. Savannah, what do you think?
I think that first we're gonna colonize the moon. Not colonize, but we're gonna inhabit the moon to an extent, for research purposes. Just a hunch, but Mars is a lot farther away. So I think starting off with the moon and creating an artificial habitat and just doing research there, sending a ton of scientists that are willing to go, or maybe even just random civilians, I think would benefit us and would help us develop further before we actually physically go to Mars. So I think we're going to go to the moon and colonize that first. Maybe do like tours for the rich or something like that, if they really want to go.
Yeah.
Not that any of them do.
Right.
But
I don't know, that raises a question for me, because I feel Mars is a little bit easier to inhabit, because it's more similar to Earth than it is the moon.
Yeah.
Gravity, the soil, atmosphere, those all things are relatively the same as Mars or Earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
So
I'm sure the gravity's gonna be slightly different, and like we're either gonna be we're gonna be lighter and stuff. But I think that it'll be a lot easier to go to another planet that's a lot similar to Earth, that we know has all these extra things that Earth has, than a place that's just rock and dust.
mm-hmm.
my kind of thinking along this was that it's closer, and two, I think it would be really beneficial to do a lot more research on the moon and work on inhabiting it, because not every single planet out there is going to be as similar as Mars is to us. And it's really good that Mars is that similar to us, but I think we need to work on, like, there's more than one moon, like we have our moon and we happen to only have one, but Jupiter has like 9. So it's,
Yeah.
so my theory is kind of just like there will be other moons around planets, and if we can get used to the moons and like inhabiting something that isn't as similar to Earth, maybe that'll help us. Mars is definitely more of a reality of moving people there permanently or temporarily for longer periods of time.
Right.
But I was just thinking, like, it would be easier for us to.
It would kind of be like going to like what we did with the space station if we used the moon and put some sort of base. One, we're further out into space, but yet we're still very close to Earth, so we're able to see if we can use we can use telescopes in a different way on the moon than we can on Earth. Is that what you're looking at? Is like we're able to do so many more things than we are able to do right at the space station. We're just moving it out to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Then again, it would be the same way with Mars. We're able to do more testing and be able to see more because we're in a different part. We're further away from Earth, so we're able to see things that were really far away to Earth, but closer to Mars.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, Mars is more of like a second Earth, but the moon is more like a tiny glimpse into researching other planets that aren't as similar to Earth. So my thought process is just kind of like, it would be smart since we've already been there once before, it would be smart to go ahead and work on that before we try to work on something we've never been to and we're really far off from going to.
So I also got to say, like, thinking of having like some sort of base on the moon and stuff is going to be a lot different than what we're like having to stay there. Because like even the International Space Station, it kind of rotates around with Earth. So the moon doesn't rotate on an axis in any way, shape, or form. So you're always going to be in the dark, or you're always going to be in the light. So you're always going to be hot, or you're always going to be cold with the moon.
Well, actually, so
Wait,
I
never
see.
mind. The moon.
Yeah, I was like, hold up.
I'm sorry,
because we
I'm
got the
thinking it
waning and
through. I'm
waxing.
Listen,
thinking.
it's summer. I get it, man. It'd be
Yeah,
like that.
it, we all mush right now. Um,
But
yeah,
you
I
get what
think
I'm thinking is like you're
how we see it, it's like
because
always there.
Well, Tiffany, think.
everything.
Here's Earth, right? And here's Moon. And it might not be rotating like this and going
As I
around,
said.
but it's still like going like this. So like there are times
Yeah,
when like
because
the sun
ignore what I said the last 5 minutes.
Brains, we're
brain
glitching right now.
cells are lacking right now. I
It's
felt
summer.
that.
I'm burnt out of being smart.
But yeah, I definitely see, you know, the moon as being the new normal because there's every planet at least got something similar to it. Um, yeah, and there's not no gravity. There's extremely low gravity, so a normal rocket here would just yeet off the moon. You know what I mean? There's no atmosphere, so that's going to be even easier to get off. Um, do you think? Okay, let's say we got habitants on the moon,
Yeah.
and SpaceX is like, now we're just gonna, expand, to the Mars, and, all the other planets. I don't feel like naming them all, even though there's 8. Um, do we think that, we should make the moon as best as it can be, or just make it a real quick, base and keep on going? You know what I mean? Like, do we finalize a good project, or do we just, dibble dabble on each subject? You know what I mean?
Okay, that's a good thought. Oh, sorry, Tiffany, I didn't see your.
I think it would start out as like we're gonna. It's gonna take a while to get things like situated on the moon. So at first, it's gonna look first like I think for any planet, or if we were to leave Earth in any way, shape, or form, at first everything on there is gonna look temporary, but it's just because we don't have all the materials to create. Like we're gonna have to continuously go back and have ships go back and forth trying to bring materials to the area where we need to go. And I think for the moon, at first it'll look temporary, but get quicker to be a look more permanent labs and research facility than it will be for Mars, because you're going such a further distance, like you're going 6 to 9 months back and forth to the Earth, bringing materials to Mars and sending samples
Right.
back. And I think it'll be harder to get permanent structures on Mars than it would be in the moon.
It's farther away, and but my thing is, I think, Brandon, back to your question, I think that it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be double dabble. I think it needs to be a lot of research, a lot
Okay.
of development, because this is what if we go and mess up Mars? It's in our human nature to crap things over repeatedly. So why do you think we're leaving Earth? Just saying. but
We all know Savannah's thoughts on humans.
yeah. I am one, so I mean I get it, but I'm also just kind of like, come on, what the heck, man? But
the heck?
the heck. But yeah, so I think that there's going to be a lot. I think there needs to be a lot of development on the moon, with not necessarily colonizing it, but making it habitable for scientists and construction workers and all the people that we want to send up there for the time being. There's a lot of research that can be done that can bring us a lot of benefits about other planets, other moons, and I think it's the closest thing into a glimpse of what the universe has, or our specific galaxy has, for us to further discover, you know? So,
Yeah. So
I think it's going to be permanent.
So in a way, when I think about it, like us going to another planet, it's weird thinking that we're discovering all these other planets when we barely even know everything about the Earth. Or at least there's so many things on the Earth that we have no clue about. Like we don't have much of the ocean and the sea.
We know more about space and the moon
Sure.
than we do about our own oceans. You know, that is a statistically
Way too hard to
correct
get down
fact.
there. All right, it's way too hard. So stop hating.
Easier to get to the moon.
It's pressure. It's so much pressure.
I
Figure out how to
I
get
know.
to the
It's
moon and Mars,
crazy.
and it does figure out what's in our ocean. Like,
You know
Here's
what's
the thing.
sad? We can't even figure out how to get the entire world clean water and deal with poverty but we want to go to Mars, and we want to colonize that and ruin it too and create more issues there. Only the rich are going to be able to get there to start off with. What you
I
gonna do
have to
about that?
disagree with you there. I have to disagree with you there. All right.
I forgot. They're gonna send the people that are homeless and have nothing else to do. Send them as our test subjects. Wow, efficient. Pay them what, 50 grand? Call it a day? Yeah, all right. I don't, I'm just saying.
it reminds me of that story we read in ELA, because I know
Which
all
one?
three of us were in the same ELA class.
There were so many. Which one?
The one about going to Venus, I think. The science fiction.
Venus.
Oh,
Yeah.
and so this.
That reminds
All
me
summer
of
in the day.
I don't want to get
Today.
copyrighted. That's okay.
You can't get copyrighted for
Well,
saying.
We're talking
if we
about a
don't
story.
properly,
We're not reading the story word for word.
We're just saying. We talk about Hunger Games a lot. That's fair use.
Okay.
In Marvel,
Everybody talks about Hunger
Everyone
Games
needs to chill out.
like we talk about Marvel, DC, Disney.
I was gonna
all the
buy
time.
Mars and then just copyright everyone. Oh, that's mine. That's pay me.
Jeff Bezos
You can't
next
say the
patent
word
Jeff
for
Bezos buys
Mars.
Say someone something. That
Oh my
brings me.
Jeff
Oh,
Bezos tries to
no.
patent
reminds me-
just
All right, you
everything in
guys
general.
know the song "Amazing Grace"?
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazing Grace. Yeah.
Do you know? All right,
Yeah.
if you think about it, can that song be patented? Because it's been sung and it's been a song since before patenting something was a thing.
Yeah, but it's already patent. That's the thing.
Who patented it?
I don't know.
Like,
Look it up.
that
Or
song
like the
was-
church or company.
God. Duh.
Yeah, you gotta pay a church money every time you sing that song out in public.
I mean, that's under the Fair Use Act, and it's super confusing. It's like, we can make a superhero movie, but we have to do it our own way. You know what I mean? If you use Superman, you got to make something special. You can't steal.
Patentable.
It's strange, but America's weird on stuff like that. Except for the UK. The UK, it's like you make it, it's yours. If you write it on a postage stamp, it don't matter. It's no one can steal it. I'm like, that's cool, but not really.
It also makes you think, if you come up with this idea and you don't have the money to patent it, you can't, it's not yours anymore.
Exactly.
It can be taken by someone else.
It's not that it's expensive to patent things, it's just that it takes so long. And if you're higher up in the world, then you can get things patented faster. You can slide some money on the table, $50 handshakes, turn into $50,000 handshakes.
Well, you also have to get the lawyer to find if there is a patent, because then you're stealing off him, which is going to make you get sued for more money, which sucks. So you gotta. I looked into it and I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. I thought you go to the patent office and you're like, here's my piece of paper. Google stamp.
You have to send it to like a big government agency, and it's like, I want to patent this. It has to be like, there are like smaller
What if they
patents
say
for a
no?
lot of things, like stupid inventions and stuff like that. You can't really patent an idea or a song. Record labels have like, that's where copyright comes into play, you know? Like if you
Right.
publish a song, like here's who owns it, it's on this record label, it's this and that. You don't patent a song. That's why nobody patented Amazing Grace. It was never put on a record label or anything like that.
Oh,
Who knows? I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure about
God,
like
records.
how that
I
works.
was gonna say Amazing Grace, that song by itself has been changed. Like, there's people that create a new song based off of that song. Like, this is Amazing Grace, and I gotta say that song itself is. I'm using an example because like there's so many different parts. Like, people take that song and then change like 2 or 3 words and say, "Oh, this is my song now."
But see, it's not, but here, I'm going to tell you how that doesn't work. If you go and publish
Yeah.
something on YouTube and say, this is my song, and it's something so similar, you can't have the same, like,
Yeah.
you can't have
I
the same
understand
beat, you
that
can't have
one.
the same syllables, you can't have the same, like, things all aligned together. It's just, you have to create an entire new, like piano keys, right? Like, if I
Okay.
was to, like, try and
I
create a
don't-
song, you can't have the same combination of keys in this because somebody else has already done it, or guitar and stuff like that.
That's
And
actually called sampling.
sampling.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
big brain.
Ever heard of Kanye?
Yeah.
Kanye samples every
I
single
gotta
song.
say, getting a brand new beat is really hard because you can go find thousands of songs.
Add a
that use
drum.
the same beat.
But see, that's the thing. Like, that's where combinations of like this piano and this clarinet and this saxophone, like that's where they all like mesh together so we can create more. My thing is like, isn't there like, there's only so many patterns that you can do, so it's not like
Right.
when do we
Yeah.
get to a point where we can't create any more music? Like, that's my question.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like,
But once
you can
we
only
get-
vibrate air so many times.
I gotta say, when we do get to the point where you can't make any more new songs, you can't make any more new music, think
Crime.
about how many songs is already gonna be out there. Like, are we gonna go back and have someone say, we're gonna have
Take
all
everyone's
these
patents
karaoke
away.
stars now?
I think that we're just going to create more instruments and then have new like things like that and stuff like that. That's why we have so many instruments, because people are like, wait, crap, I need to mix it with something, that way I didn't just steal this.
Hype.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Okay, so I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like some songs that are by like particular artists are like the exact same. Like, the beat is very similar, like all about that bass and lips are moving. Those, it's so like they're so similar. By Megan Trainor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's called sampling, or you got sampling and then you got stealing. If anyone, you probably
So,
know, but
I'm wondering if
I
you can
gotta
steal from
say,
yourself
like,
though,
for
like,
them, you can
that's
say
stealing
it's
from
not
yourself.
stealing. It's because
because you can plagiarize
like,
yourself. That's a thing. I didn't think it was a
Play
thing.
yourself.
So
Just
I'm
play
taking that
yourself.
English class, right?
You plagiarize yourself.
And you can plagiarize yourself. She was like, so we had to like read through this whole like plagiarizing thing and watch these stupid videos. No offense, but whack. And so basically you can plagiarize yourself. So like if you take like old things that you wrote in documents and stuff and like revise them, or like basically take a paragraph or an idea that you previously used and put it into a new paper,
Okay.
or just resubmit that paper again, which I am guilty of.
Mhm.
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. And you can basically, like, that's called plagiarizing yourself. Like, it's still illegal. Like, although you can't go and sue yourself. Well, I mean, you could, but like, stupid.
I'd love to see.
I'd
Goes to
love to
jail.
pay for 2
Why
lawyers.
do I see this happening? I see this happening in the future. Like, I see someone going
Okay.
around and doing stuff. Like, it would be someone who has more money than brains.
Bipolar.
But why
Someone
do
who's
I
bipolar.
see that?
No. Somebody was
You took my money. No, I didn't. Something like that.
people have like personality disorder.
Yeah, they're gonna
Personality
sue
disorder.
themselves.
That's the thing.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute, you stole my whole flow. You stole my flow. Oh my gosh. But
You stole that lyric. Ah.
Lucid Dreams by Juice World, that guitar,
Yeah.
So I
same
gotta
thing
tell
in Nas, The Message. And no one knows Nas, The Message. But, you know, he pulled it off. He pulled it off. Now you hear that drum beat and you go, oh, that's Lucid Dreams. Kind of like TikTok these days. They're just stealing music and then people think that they're from TikTok, but they're actually from a different song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
the
like,
whole.
all right, you know Snoop Dogg, his na-na-na-na-na,
Yeah.
that, and then it was playing, and it was like, oh my gosh, Fortnite. I was just like, I want to die so
It's,
much
you know they
when I
made a
saw that.
Fortnite dance of Tootsie Slide or like Tootsie Slide? Yeah, by Drake, the
Tootsie,
new Tootsie. Is it Tootsie? Because there's no T. I don't get
Tootsie
it.
Roll. Left foot slide,
Yeah,
and
right
then what we
foot
did
up,
aside.
left foot slide. Like that's there's a whole dance of
Drake's
it.
just getting bored. He's just like, oh,
Yeah,
let's make a
honestly,
dance.
I don't understand the dance. I don't get it. I don't get
He
it.
I have
fell
my
off
right
and
foot up.
Scott's
How
playing.
am I supposed to slide?
Yeah, you gotta be Michael Jackson. You just
Oh, he's like, I can dance like Michael Jack.
Jack.
I
Hey,
can get you throw it back.
you got
Son.
it. Right, what an episode. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we went
SpaceX
from
and
SpaceX, copyrights, and
music.
music. All right, well,
Watch our copyrighted episode
we,
get copyrighted. Aha.
yeah, Jake sue us.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
He should be happy.
I'm
All
Free
right,
advertisement.
teenager. I'm
crap.
broke.
Yeah, he needs it.
No, like
He fell off since Scott's
Oh,
playing.
someone's suing us. Oh, but I'm a teenager. I'm broke. What can you
Yeah,
get from
honestly,
me?
I'm saving up for a 3D printer. Don't even try to take a penny out of my jar.
3, take it or leave it. We, you guys want to close out? Any final thoughts?
uh, don't plagiarize yourself, kids.
Don't play yourself. That's just in general.
Yeah, big brain.
All right, we'll close it up there. Thank you guys for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. And check back on us next. What's today? I can't even remember, man.
This comes out
Tuesday?
Wednesday, so
This will come out
Wednesday. So come on Friday.
Check us out
It'll
on
be there.
Friday.
see you Friday. Yeah.
But you probably won't see it though.
Bye.
Hey.